Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at righteousfelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
So there is a lot of talks about Vinny's contract, which is funny because his contract doesn't expire until 2027. But Real Madrid wants to secure him till 2030. And I think I get where they're coming from, because the reason why I get where they're coming from is because he, obviously, you can talk about last year. Did he get robbed of the Ballon d'Or? I don't know. I don't personally feel that way, but I know that there's some people that do feel that way. But I think for his scenario, he's had standout performances on standout performances. He's definitely not the reason why Real Madrid had the season that they had last year. But obviously he didn't also help. But obviously you want to secure a guy that you would view as one of your top players on your team. Once again, you still have until 2027, but I think it's crazy. It's not crazy to think about trying to add more years onto his contract, especially when you don't know if his price tag could get much higher. And I think that's where they're concerned. When you have a player like Vinny, you kind of want to get him on a contract already, so because that price could increase by the time it's 2027. So I understand where they're coming at. Now, Vinny's representation, they would like a deal around 20 million euros, $23 million if you want to hear the U.S. Side of it. With bonuses that can be up to 30 million euros, $35 million. So essentially a contract that's worth 20 mil with the potential of jumping up 10 mil in euros with bonuses. So Real Madrid saw their 20 with no add-ons. So they were just like, all right, we'll pay you the 20 mil. We're not giving you bonuses though. And I get the bonuses. It would essentially, God dang, essentially incentivize Vinny to perform well, I guess. But obviously, Fiorentina. I think the thing is with Fiorentino Perez is he does not want to. This is like it's a weird thing that Real Madrid's doing now. They're not essentially spending as much. They're still spending money, but they're not essentially they're not splurging out like they used to. Obviously have been getting guys on free contracts, right? Or essentially free contracts. Obviously they paid a little more to get Trent Alexander-Arnold in for the Club World Cup. But that's what Real Madrid is doing now, right? So, and I think that could be a combination of things. Financial fair play could be could be a concern, or maybe Fiorentino Perez just wants to be more effective with the club spending, especially when you're adding a guy like Kylian Mbappé onto the team. And once again, there's going to be more names, coming up as well, obviously. So being able to lock in Vinny to that 20 mil a year deal could, in the longevity side, one, you secure a top player, but two, you lock them into an amount where you can live with to then go out and get players. And obviously, Vinny's camp don't care. They don't care at all. They're like, no, that's too small. Even though that's the amount that they agreed annually, but obviously they want the bonuses. They want the incentives to be there. Why am I playing besides getting 20 million a year? What is my reason to keep playing? Do I think that this is going to cause a fallout with the team? I don't know. Obviously, there was some talks because of this previous match for Real Madrid Vinny was on the bench. Which essentially Xabi Alonso, the way he's playing is you're going to press. You're going to come back and defend. We're not gonna be exploited by the counter. We're gonna press high, but we're gonna move accordingly when it comes time to be on the defensive side of the ball. So, if you're not in for it, I'm not going to put you out there. Which I mean, you saw, Rodrigo played in this game. Kylian Mbappé started. Vinny did come in, but it was one of those. It was interesting, but I do like what's going on with Real Madrid, especially how they're playing defensively. Hopefully, they can keep playing like that. But I think once again, people are just trying to fabricate these like tensions between him and Mbappe. Who's going to be the guy? Like blah blah blah, all this crap. I don't know if it's all true or not. But I mean, I guess if you keep talking enough, maybe it is. But it's really important for Vinny's sake. I think he wants that if he wants a new contract, they need to do this for him. I think in some aspect, Real Madrid doesn't really have to do this because the fact is that they already have him locked in until 2027. But obviously, I think if you could secure him to 2030, once again, it just bodes well for them, right? At least that's the logic behind it. I think it's going to be ongoing. I think eventually a deal will come in for Vinicius Jr. Shoot, maybe by the time this episode already drops, this whole conversation is completely pointless because he already signed a new deal. But it's gonna be telling about where it goes from there. I don't think it's essentially Real Madrid picking a side. Like I don't think if Vinny doesn't sign a contract, they're choosing Kylian Mbappe over him, or whatever the two goes. I know a lot of people have theories that it's one or the other. It's not you can't have both kind of theories. I think it's a crock of shit. I think that they've been playing very well together. As a matter of fact, Vinicius did get an assist to Mbappe. So I don't think that it's really like how people perceive it to be. I don't think Vinicius Jr. is essentially as selfish as he is, as people believe. I don't think all that stuff. I think that he does love this club, and I think he just wants to get the best deal humanly possible for him, and I can respect that. I can also understand Real Madrid trying to get an effective contract that benefits them and the player. But at the end of the day, like I do think a deal is going to be agreed on. I don't think it's gonna take that long at all. Like I don't like this is just people trying to fabricate a story. That's really what it is. Like like I said, I don't think that there's any animosity between Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. Just as like I don't really believe that there was any animosity between Mbappe and Messi and Neymar when he was at PSG. Like does Mbappe want to be the guy? Yes. Does he want to be the guy with that everyone turns to? Yes. Does he want the ball? Yes. But I think he knows that if you want to win in football, you need to work as a team, and I don't think he's a moron. So I don't. So at the same time, I think for Vinicius Jr., a deal will come down. I just don't know when. Probably could have already happened right now, but I think people are gonna read in as much as he can. Whenever he gets put on the bench instead of starting, people are gonna talk about it. When as a matter of fact, he started mouthing off the referee. So like, all that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and then it's just gonna create storylines that people are gonna want to create and talk about, and because it's Vinicius Jr., it's because of his Real Madrid. It's gonna be discussed. Like, does he want to be here? Does he like Mbappe? Does he like this? Does he want out? Does he want to go to Saudi Arabia? Blah blah blah. All that stuff is gonna get thrown out, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think a deal will be agreed upon between Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr., and he will be a Madridista for life, or until Real Madrid eventually kicks him out in a very ugly and horrible fashion.
Who is that guy?